Hello, I'm Courtney, and welcome to the Pets Digest. This is a channel where I just discuss all things pet health. I am a veterinarian and have been practicing since 2007, 2008, either part time or full time. And I just like to share little tidbits of information with you guys. These are really short videos, so if you can give it a like and subscribe if you want more. Today, we're going to talk about seven holiday foods that you should never be feeding your dog. And I will say some of them are ingredients as well because a lot of these foods will have the same things in them. So the first thing I'll talk about is onions and garlic. I do know some people that give their dogs onions. I had a friend that would give his bulldog half of an onion, and he was fine. But I would not suggest that at all because onions and garlic can really damage your pet's red blood cells, and it can cause anemia, and it can cause a lot more sensitivities, and your dog may even need a blood transfusion, especially for smaller dogs if the anemia is extremely severe. Eating onions and garlics can cause a lot of issues in your dogs and your cats. Cats are a lot more sensitive than dogs to um, this type of toxicosis. And like I said, a lot of times they may need blood transfusions. So anything with onions and garlic in it, I would definitely not give to my dog or my cat. I still meet a lot of people that give their dogs bones, but I definitely would not give my dog bones at all, even if they're raw, because guaranteed, if you've had to prop open a snarling chihuahua's mouth to try to extract a bone or to look at the back of their throat and you see a bone stuck there, you would think twice before you do so. So just because I know and I've been privy to, dogs having to have surgery because they ate bones, it's just so tragic to see. And I just, you know what, just don't give it to them to prevent it. If you want them to get the benefits of like the cartilage and things like that from the bone, make bone broth. I do have a video about bone broth here, and I also have a blog article about it with a recipe. I think that's one really good thing to do. Like I said, some pet owners have no issues at all when they feed their dogs raw bones, but just me as a preference, I definitely would not do it, especially cooked bones too, because they get so hard and they're so easily splintered. Like if you think about a chicken bone, once it's cooked, it can splinter really easily. And if you think about it, when it's going down their esophagus, down their in their stomach, down their small intestine and their large intestine, it can have a lot of detrimental effects. It can puncture something and it cause bleeding and sepsis. And it's just, you know what, for me it's just not worth it. So I just refrain from it, and I would suggest that you do as well. Yeah, for all the injuries that it could possibly cause, it's not even worth it to me. But another thing that I would say you should not feed your dog would be ham. And yes, I know a lot of people do feed their dogs ham, but ham, it has it can cause pancreatitis because it is so high in fat and salt. And many of the symptoms are GI based. So you may see a dog that has eaten ham or too much ham, some vomiting, some diarrhea, some lethargy, not wanting to eat, sluggishness, but mostly vomiting and diarrhea. So I would not give my dog any ham. Another thing would be stuffing because, like I said before, a lot of these have onions and garlic and things like that in it. And dogs don't do well with those things, especially smaller dogs. Another thing is dessert. So, mostly now, a lot of people know that dogs should not have chocolate, which is good, but don't give them any cakes or any cookies or anything like that. Like, they really don't need it, um, because they can get chocolate poisoning. And a lot of people do know this right by now. So, that's good, and they won't give their dogs chocolate. One thing that people may not be aware of is grapes and raisins. They can also be extremely unhealthy for pets, and it can cause damage to their kidneys, especially if they eat a lot of grapes or raisins. And in some cases, depending on how much they ate and the size of the dog, it can even result in death, unfortunately. So make sure that anything that your dog might get into that has grapes or raisins, they make sure they can't get to it, basically. And another thing, the last thing I would say is take turkey and chicken skin, because just like ham, the skin of these meats have a lot of fat. It's a high fat concentration, and you kind of want to steer clear of that because of pancreatitis and some other GI issues. It can cause some vomiting, some diarrhea, some stomach upset, especially if your dog has IBD or colitis or something like that. You definitely don't want to give them these things because it can cause some issues. Always, what I do with my dog is, because I feel bad that she's not getting a holiday meal, so I will make her own holiday meal. So I'll boil some chicken with no skin, no seasoning or anything like that, and I'll give it to her. That the same time that everyone else is eating, she'll be eating that. Just a little bit. She's a small dog, so she doesn't eat a lot. So I'll mix it in with her food, but it's bland and it's something that she can digest without having any issues. So that was my very short video about holiday foods and how to keep your dog safe and what foods to keep them away from. Please give this video a like, and if you want more videos like this, I make them every week. So subscribe, and you can also join my newsletter by visiting my website. Thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye.